Hello and welcome to the Mindset RX series of the Alpha Movement podcast. My name is Tom Foxley and I help functional athletes gain the champ's mindset. On today's show, I am going to be talking about the magic of dreaming big, and we'll get into exactly what that means in just a second. But before we get started, seminars. The Mindset RX seminar is hitting 3 Aces CrossFit in London, Feb 17th, just a few days from now, which I'm super excited. Still a few tickets left. May 19th, Primal Performance in Weert in the Netherlands. May 26th, we're going to be at CrossFit Lutterworth, which I'm super excited about. And then sometime in July or June, maybe in Hereford. And then October 20th and October 27th. You can find tickets on, October 20th, is CrossFit City Line in Watertown, Massachusetts. And October 27th is CrossFit Pushing Weight, and that's Powhatan, I think that's how it's pronounced, near Richmond, Virginia. And that's you can find more information about more information at mindsetrx.com/seminars. And if you're a new listener, because I've noticed my listenership has jumped up recently, you may want to check out the books I've written, which you can find on Amazon by searching for my name, Tom Foxley. And there you can find Intensity Tolerance and The Impossible Art of Consistency. So one book on consistency and one book on how to push harder in WODs. Or you may want to check out my Mindset RX training diary, which you can find at mindsetrx.com. Now, today's show, the magic of dreaming big. And this often comes across like it's kind of some kind of airy-fairy, like no real, it's something that you'd see kind of written on a bullshit motivational quote on Instagram. And the truth is that as with a lot of these quotes, despite being so kind of almost like there's no substance to them to begin with, like you look at them and you see a lack of substance, then there is some truth behind it. And the truth is what we're looking for. And that truth is that if done correctly, it works. It really does work. And like I think you see that quote, aim for the moon, if you miss, you'll be in the stars. And beautiful words aside, it kind of works in as much as you begin to think big and you begin to take those actions and you begin to become emotionally attached to the outcome that you desire. A big issue with a lot of what athletes do is we lose the emotional connection to what we're trying to achieve. And if we look, I know I spoke about this the other day, but if we look at the extrinsic versus intrinsic motivation, none of us are extrinsically motivated really, or I think there'll probably be a 0.0001% of people who are extrinsically motivated by external factors. But so like what most of us need to do is actually go inwards and find that emotional connection. So that's like the first point, that we need to find an emotional connection to who we want to be. We don't need any more logic, because logic usually binds us into ways of thinking that have not served us in the past, failure bound and failure centric thinking. So yeah, we need to become emotionally attached. We need something that makes our heart beat faster, something that really gets into who we are. And that's the other thing. We need to focus on who we want to become, not what we want to achieve. The other thing is long-term thinking. It doesn't give a chance for that logic to get in the way. And we need to kind of dream without logic to really realize our potential. The logic comes in when you think, oh, I've only got 12 weeks and right now I'm so busy with work and I know I've got deadlines coming up, and actually my parents are coming to stay, and I've got like family stuff going on, and I've got all these events going on, I've got parties to go to, and like actually I'll push it back and I won't quite make it. And then you can see the negative doubt comes into it again. The negative way of thinking comes straight back in. So what we need to do is begin thinking long-term and thinking with the idea of limitless potential. And I've spoken about limitless potential before, and this is the lie that I tell each and every one of my athletes. the lie being that you can achieve anything you dream of. And I don't actually believe that's logically true, but I think it's a very beneficial way to think in most circumstances, especially when we're thinking about long-term vision. We want to be, like today, we want to be critical. For the long term, though, we want to be ridiculously optimistic. But to kind of bring that back, we need to think in long term, so kind of 5 years, 3 years, that kind of period, because we hugely overestimate what we can achieve in 12 weeks, but massively underestimate what we can achieve in 3 to 5 years. I mean, just look back at the past 5 years of your life and consider the change that's happened, whether that's positive or negative. But imagine if for the last 5 years, we're working in one direction of limitless potential. So those are the kind of areas that we're looking at. So we need to dream big. We need it to be focusing on limitless potential. We need to go long-term thinking. Like that really long-term thinking is the one, I promise. It becomes almost like a childish imagination process, and that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to really tap into the potential, the human potential that we know is within us. And yeah, those are the 2 big points. What we're looking to do is remind ourselves from that point on. From this point on, like once we've got that limitless potential in our head, we need to remind ourselves of it on a frequent basis, because the way I usually describe it is, and it's a great kind of metaphor and analogy for this, is heat-seeking missiles or homing missiles. The way they essentially work is they get fired, and then they regularly, as frequently as possible, remark on their trajectory, or they note their trajectory and where their goal is, or where their objective to hit is. And we fail to do this. Maybe we set a goal once at the beginning of a 12-week period, and then we ignore it until the 12 weeks are up, and then we fail. If we want to be like a homing missile, we want to go, okay, I am here, and my objective is here. What's the quickest and shortest line to it? Okay, and then the next day do exactly the same. I'm here, and like you may have adjusted course. And what this does is it gives us a regular idea of where we are in relation to our goal. And then it not only reminds us when we're going wrong, but it actually shortens the distance between ourselves and our objectives. So this is what we're doing. We're reminding ourselves of where we are and where we want to be. So my advice for today is spend a few minutes with just a blank piece of paper, a pen, or maybe just in your imagination, like kind of we can work on the visualization, the macro side of visualization on this, and we can focus on, like, so number one is to generate that vision of an unlimited potential in 3 to 5 years. So if I was going to ask you, in 3 to 5 years, who would you dream of being? Not what do you want to achieve, but who do you want to be? Like truly, who do you want to be? That's what we need to kind of look into. And then step number 2 is just remind yourself of it on a daily basis. We're not manifesting anything. We're not like plucking it out of the universe from thin air. We are reminding ourselves of where we are and where we're going on a daily basis. And that, folks, is it for today. So if you want to, you can head to mindsetrx.com/seminars to find out more about seminars in the UK, the Netherlands, and United States, with a couple more on the cards too. Well, I say a couple more, a lot more on the cards. So you can head there, find out more about that, or you can find out more about my books at mindsetrx.com, or you can search on my name, Tom Foxley, on Amazon. That's Foxley. And I shall speak to you all soon. Oh, and if you enjoyed the show, please share it with your friends. Leave a 5-star review on iTunes. I've noticed that there's a couple of 1-star things which are really bugging my delicate constitution right now. So if you guys could do the right thing and make me feel even more egotistical, that would be ideal. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys soon.